But the other options are different for cartoons than they are for the movies, because cartoons don't require some of the same things as movies. You can be a lot less quality, a lot different options for the cartoons to have a smaller file size. Anyway, so for each and every aspect ratio a DVD can have, there are 4 different quality settings you can use, or 5 different quality settings you can use if it's a movie, and 3 different ones you can use if it's a cartoon, not to be confused with animated thing. And each aspect ratio also has a master profile. Remember, there's a core profile that every single profile inherits from. And then for each aspect ratio, there's an aspect core file, which is common to every option in that aspect ratio, regardless of quality, but only for that aspect ratio. I'm not going to go through how to set up this. You can read this on the M-Player manual. And on the M-Player tutorials and stuff like that online, but you can download this from me and look at it and see how I put it together. So there's no need for me to explain how to put together an M-Player profile. But this is your mencoder.conf, C-O-N-F, that you'll be dropping into your users. It'd be your /home /your username /.mplayer, which is a hidden file. You got to see it. To see it, you got to hit Control H, and then just paste it in there, mencoder.conf, config, whatever. And that is how honkies like me mass transcode DVDs. I sit there and fill up a script. I'll fill up my hard drive completely full. You got to leave room for temporary files to be written, for it to write the new files, and then delete the old VOBs as you go along before it runs out of room. Because if it runs out of room, all the fucking files it's transcoding at that moment get corrupted. But anyway, I get my hard drive almost completely full. I leave about maybe 60 gigabytes out of a 500 gigabyte drive, and then I set up a mass transcode script like I just showed you how to do, and then to where I'll sit there all damn night figuring out the video filter chain and audio filters for every single movie, paste them into each movie's h264.shell script.sh, and then after I get every single movie's 264.shell script with the video filter plugged in and the correct aspect ratio profile selected, then I go through and open my transcoding scripts, T1 and T2, and then I paste in the path to each and every single movie's directory, and then I tell Bash to execute the the 264.sh file that's in that directory. And you get a hard drive full of movies, and I've had my computer transcode for a week and a half at a time. I mean, you could just let it go and leave it on all day and all night for fucking 2 weeks, and it'll just transcode away. That's how you mass transcode shit. All right. I covered a lot of the things in this video that I covered also in the third video. Remember, I made the third video before I ever made this video, before I even made the first video. So a lot of the things you're going to watch after this, I'll already covered in this video, but you'll see them covered again, like briefly. But in the next videos, I touch upon other shit in a little bit more detail. In the fourth video, I'll show you what to do with your AVIs after they're finished. Remember, everything when it's dumped is an AVI file. And I'll show you in the fourth video, which will probably be pretty short actually, I'll show you what things you can do with MKV files and why MKV is better than AVI. But for this video, I am finished. Go to linuxintro.com, software, multimedia, or you can just click software and then click multimedia to view all of these video transcoding tutorials and download the source files, my shell scripts, everything else that you see me mention to, and read along with the codes and commands I'm typing. Alright, that's been a long ass video. Hi, my name is Alex, and this is another video for linuxintro.com. In this video, I'm going to be covering video transcoding, specifically how to transcode your DVDs to video to watch on your computer. Now, when watching these videos, it's very important that you go to the videos lessons instead of watching straight from YouTube. It's very important you come over to linuxintro.com, go to software and multimedia, and look for the video transcoding lessons. because I'm going to post code and snippets and examples and even my own scripts to show you how to do this. Now, first and foremost, the thing I want to say before I even continue is that, and by the way, some of this looks messed up, specifically the icons are missing. I'm in the middle of remodeling this. A lot of people are really paranoid about transcoding videos, as everybody perceives it to be illegal, and they're even afraid to talk about it in forums. And, well, that's just retarded. Video transcoding, just like audio ripping, is legal under certain conditions. By law, now, I'm not a lawyer, you always should check with the lawyer before confirming anything, but by law you are permitted to create what is called, I believe, in legally referred to as a reasonable number of copies of the digital media you own. Now, when I say own, it's kind of a loose term, but you don't own any CD or DVD that you buy. Just like if you use Windows, you don't own Windows. You own a license to use that disc, whether it be a CD, a DVD, or a Windows operating system. Just like Linux is free, but it's free to use. You can't own Linux. No one owns Linux. Anyway, so with DVDs and videos, you are buying a license to use the material. Now, as the terms of that license, you're able to reproduce a reasonable number of copies. Reasonable is kind of ambiguously defined as being personal use. Now, when you start distributing or selling copies, that is not reasonable and that is illegal. So as long as you're making copies of your own stuff to keep on your computer, that is legal. Otherwise, MP3 players would have no market, as it would be illegal to put anything on an MP3 player because you'd have to rip it first. Now, again, reasonable number of copies is something for your own use. It comes in handy so that everybody scratches CDs and DVDs, everybody loses them, this and that. This prevents you from having to buy them again because you have a copy of them. Now, of course, the recording industry and the film industry, they don't want you to think that because they want you to buy as many copies as you can. They want you to lose them all. So they'll try to intimidate a lot of people into believing that even maintaining your own copies is not legal, but that is not the case. All right, having said that, we will go on, and I should point out first that I'm kind of putting the horse before the carriage here. These videos are going to be coming in a series. This is the first video I'm making because I'm almost finished transcoding all of my DVDs, and so I would have no more as an example. So I'm going to go ahead and do this video first, but this is probably going to be like the third video in the series. It's very important you watch the other ones first, otherwise you're going to have no freaking clue what the hell I'm talking about in this video. First thing we're going to do is open up our video directory on our computer. Now, I have mine under video. You see right here I have a file. It's actually a shell script that it's just a copy of a shell script that I've got sitting right next to my video directory so I can copy and paste it. You'll see what I mean. It's empty. It pretty much has nothing, and it refers to in-player profiles that I've created, which I will have shown you by the time you watch this, and I put this up for use on my website. I will have also made the ones where I show you how to make your own in-player profiles. This saves a lot of typing and configuring when you're going to mass transcode videos. Now, what we're going to do is right-click on the video directory that you have on your computer, go search for files, and then just type in VOB and hit enter. Now, this assumes you've already ripped a copy of everything and it's sitting on your hard drive as a VOB right now, one whole VOB movie, and that I will have covered in one of my previous videos by the time I put this up on YouTube. Alright, let's go ahead and move this to the side. It's just for our own reference, and we'll go ahead and move this to the side a little bit, make room. I usually do all of these things on one desktop. Alright, let's open up a terminal and maximize it. Now, as you see, with this shell script, right click on it and go to copy. And then right click on each one of these VOBs and go to open folder, and then paste it into each one of those folders. Close it and go to the next one, open folder, paste it in there to where every VOB folder has a shell script. Now, when you get cases where there's multiple movies in the same VOB folder, for example, in the Saw movie, there's 4 movies. I only got 3 of them. But so we got 3 VOBs, but 1 shell script. You'll see why here in a moment. There's only a need for 1 shell script in each directory for each movie.